Welcome to Film Tale Echoes. Imagine going to a hotel that looks peaceful from the outside, but inside, it hides something dark. Those who enter its third floor live only for 3 nights and midnight. The curse of Amber Hotel begins. Amber Hotel looked calm from the outside, but inside, it hid a dark secret. On her first day, a new cleaning lady was told by the owner, Suktini, to clean only the second floor and never go to the third one. She said it was under renovation and unsafe. But while working, the lady heard a faint sound of crying from above. Curious, she went to the third floor and followed the sound to a room without a number. Inside sat a pale woman, white from head to toe. The woman looked at her and whispered strange words that would change her destiny. 3 nights and midnight. After that day, the cleaner's life became a nightmare. She felt something was following her everywhere. At night, as she prayed in her room, the same white woman appeared silently from the mirror. The ghost attacked her at midnight, killing her in a horrifying way. Her daughter found her lifeless body, screaming in shock and fear. Days later, 2 sisters named Raina and her younger sibling came to live with their grandparents, who were none other than Suktini and her husband, owners of Amber Hotel. After their father's death, Raina took over managing the hotel to support her sister's studies. Her grandmother warned them never to go to the third floor, claiming it was still unsafe due to renovation work. Soon, Raina met an old friend who was now a reporter investigating a strange death, the same hotel worker who had died earlier. Shocked that her family's hotel was involved, Raina allowed him to stay and investigate. One night, Raina noticed lights flickering on the closed third floor. When she went up, she saw the same white woman in an unnumbered room. The woman repeated the same words, 3 nights and midnight. The next morning, Raina found the words, "the first day," appear and vanish on her car. When she told her grandmother, fear filled Suktini's face, proving she knew something terrible about that floor. Soon, Raina received a call from an empty room asking for a towel. When she entered, she heard crying from the bathroom and saw something move under the curtains. A pale girl with white hair and red eyes crawled out toward her. Terrified, Raina screamed. But when the reporter checked, the room looked completely normal. Frightened workers began to leave the hotel, forcing Suktini and her husband to reveal the truth. Years ago, a worker on the third floor had seen the same entity. After whispering her curse, he died in 3 nights. A shaman was called but refused to go inside, saying the spirit belonged to that room forever and could never be removed. Since then, the third floor had been sealed. Raina grew terrified for her younger sister. But soon, her sister also began to see strange things. One day at school, she heard voices and saw a statue move on its own. When she told Raina, she admitted that she too had gone to the third floor and met the same white girl. That meant both sisters now had only 3 nights left before their deaths. Desperate, Raina and the reporter visited the old shaman. He explained that the ghost was trapped because of an unfinished past and would only rest if her real name was discovered. Determined to end the curse, Raina decided to face the spirit. She and her sister entered the haunted room while the reporter waited outside. Inside, they searched for clues. Raina found a white flower, and her sister discovered a torn paper with the word angel. But before they could piece it together, the younger sister was possessed by the spirit. She attacked Raina in a terrifying, unnatural way. The reporter rushed in and managed to save her. But by entering the room, he too fell under the curse. As the white woman appeared again, her haunting words echoed one last time. 3 nights and midnight. Raina, her sister, and the reporter escaped from the cursed room in terror. The clock showed midnight, It was already their second night under the curse, and for the reporter, the first. Their lives were now counting down. When Raina showed the torn paper she found, her grandparents admitted they had discovered similar scraps under the beds of other rooms. When they joined them together, they formed a letter, signed with the name Jasmine. The letter spoke of a woman who once loved Raina's father. She wrote that their happiest moments were spent near the pine forest, surrounded by white flowers, where she called him her angel. Hoping to find the truth, Raina and the reporter went to that forest. There, they saw the same kind of white flowers that Raina had found in the haunted room. The clues led them north to a river, where a boatman mentioned that those flowers grew only in his village, White Flower Village. Believing this was the final key, they followed him to the village. When they described the ghostly woman to the village head, fear filled his eyes. He refused to speak and sent them away. But that night, they learned the secret from his wife. The pale woman was their daughter. Her name was Menoer. She was born at midnight with skin and hair so white that villagers called her cursed. Even her father hated her and kept her locked away. Lonely and hurt, Menoer ran away when she turned 20, and no one ever saw her again. Back at the hotel, Raina and the reporter asked the shaman to call Menoer's spirit. The shaman revealed her sad past. After running away, Menoer had met Raina's father near the forest. He saved her and offered her a room in his hotel. For the first time, she felt loved. But one day, he left for business in Jakarta and never returned. Heartbroken, Menoer made a puzzle of letters and hid them around the hotel as a memory of her love. Later, she went to look for him, only to find he was engaged to another woman. Believing she had been betrayed, Menoer returned to the hotel and began tearing her own skin in madness. On the third midnight, she died in agony, and her soul became the vengeful spirit haunting the third floor. The shaman said that Menoer's soul could rest only if her body was reunited with something that carried love and life. But before they could act, Menoer's furious spirit appeared and killed the shaman. Terrified, Raina searched for answers and found one of her father's books titled White as Jasmine. Inside it was the truth. Her father had never betrayed Menoer. He had gone to Jakarta to make her a ring from white flowers to propose to her. But he was hit by a car, lost his memory, and was later adopted by Suktini and her husband. When his memory returned, he rushed back, only to find Menoer's dead body. He buried her beneath the hotel and placed the ring's design on her grave, hoping she would rest in peace. Realizing that Menoer had died with a broken heart and a false belief, Raina decided to end the curse herself. She and the reporter entered the tunnels beneath the hotel, searching for the grave. Menoer's spirit attacked them and possessed the reporter, forcing Raina to fight for her life. As midnight neared, she finally found Menoer's skeleton. With all her strength, she slipped the white flower ring onto its hand. At that moment, Menoer's soul saw the truth. The rage and pain faded from her eyes, replaced with calm. Her spirit dissolved into light and vanished forever. Raina, her sister, and the reporter escaped the tunnel, free from the curse. Peace returned to Amber Hotel at last. Later, the reporter confessed his love to Raina, and she accepted with a smile. That night, he stayed at the hotel, dreaming of a happy future with her. But as the clock struck midnight, Menoer's reflection appeared in the mirror once more. The curse had not ended for him. It was his third night. The pale spirit reached out from the glass, and in a moment of horror, the reporter met the same fate as all before him, as the shadow of Amber Hotel lived on. The morning after, Raina came to wake the reporter, only to find him lifeless. She thought Menoer's spirit had finally been freed, but the horror was far from over. The police and ambulance carried him away. leaving Raina in shock. From the rooftop, she asked her sister why Menoer had spared them. Her sister explained that while they had healed Menoer's broken heart, the ghost still carried the pain and hatred of everyone who had rejected her. Those who died by their own hand could never reach peace. Her soul would always linger in Amber Hotel. Suddenly, Raina realized the truth. Her sister's eyes had turned blood red. Menoer had possessed her. Through her sister, the spirit spoke, assuring Raina that she would never harm them because they were the daughters of the only person who had truly loved her. Raina, her sister, and their grandparents left the hotel forever. The police sealed the building, haunted by the countless mysterious deaths that had occurred there. But the nightmare did not end. 2 policemen entered the 3rd floor to investigate. In the forbidden room, they saw her, Menoer, sitting silently. As they froze in fear, the ghost looked at them and whispered the same deadly words. 3 nights and midnight. Amber Hotel still stands, quiet and empty, but some doors are never truly closed. If you ever hear crying from the 3rd floor, remember some spirits never rest. Will you dare to enter, or will you turn away before midnight?